Hello everyone and welcome to Career. So today this is going to be quite a special episode because it's the 10th episode and it's been quite fun, this whole series, I do have to say. And today we are not only going to be making, for example, these operator rooms better or control rooms, like the drilling operation control room or the nuclear control room, but we are also finally going to be joining the career world, and we are probably going to transport some containers and get some money. So this could both go well or go absolutely terribly. We will see. But now let's not hit this rock and dive into it. First with the operator rooms. So let's start off with this whole area. I want to convert all of this into like instrument panels and things like that. So let's work on this, make it better. So we now have that thing done, and yeah, I think it looks quite normal for my ships. It works well with how the bridge looks, and everything fits inside it. And I love when you have like these tables and when they're like very overcomplicated. I just love that. So that's that. I also added in cameras finally because we do want some cameras. And when I was testing it out, I really saw the glaring issue of not having cameras. Now we also have this, so we can really see better what's happening down here. We can even go down the ladder or jump like I just did. So let's not break our legs again, and let's go see the second thing that we are going to be working on, and that's the nuclear control room. And this thing looks just horrendous currently, so I really want to work on this. We have a certain problem. It's at 10 megabytes, which means that we may just hit the limit quite soon. It's 4 more megabytes and it's done. It's dead. But then again, when we get the operator rooms finished, this whole thing is basically done. There's nothing more to do except for the details, which we might do some exterior details today just to make it ready. And yeah, if this goes wrong, I have an idea in mind for a light version and that could work, I guess. But yeah, I think it should be fine. It's actually not causing that much lag. Even if I turn up my physics, it's still at 62 FPS, which that is good. I like that. But yeah, that almost gave me a heart attack. And let's go back to building the operator room, this one. So I got this up and running. It's not the final version, definitely not, but it should work or there are the main things such as the temperatures and the boiler pressures, boiler temperatures, and boiler fluid volumes. So here we can read basically everything that's happening to the steam area. We are also going to add something for the pistons and something for the condensers. And we have a problem. We have another problem, and that is, if we take it into the workbench, look at this. That's more than 500,000. We are going to have to do some missions. A lot of them. But whatever, let's just work more on this and forget our problems. So yeah, this thing is done, and I'm quite pleased with it because it does look quite nice. And yeah, it works well. We can read basically anything out here on these dials. And I also added some kind of a map to just show us what's going on. And yeah, it's great. Now also, I don't think that was in the time lapse, but I added some interesting things to here, to the bridge, such as the charges for the batteries and a clock, and also some spotlights so we can finally see in the night or in fog. And the thing we need to do with it now is we need to prepare to make a light version, which basically that's gonna have less detail than the full version. It's gonna be less laggy, and it's possible that the full version won't be able to spawn in a workbench because we might reach the limit, so a light version would be good. But for that we need to prepare. So we need deck lighting, we need a way to transfer oil from the tanks to, let's say, a tanker, and we also just need to paint it a little. So I'm gonna do that. I am not going to record it because that's like the most boring stuff you can do. So I'm not gonna record it. Yeah, we've got that, and let's do that, and we'll meet up very soon. Or not soon for me, but soon for you. So all of that's done. And you can see I added a ton of things. I added the nameplates. I added some other interesting things. You can even see I textured it, so it looks a little worn, a little better. And for example, I added this way to get to the bow and a bunch of details, deck lighting. This should be it. Yeah, that's deck lighting. Added the ropes. I even added a way to pump oil even here. But now into the bridge I added something I've wanted for a long time, and that's a flood map. So we have the ship, it's not to scale. We have the ship here, and we have all areas mapped out where there's a flooding. So let me just show you. So if we make a leak in the stern, this thing is gonna go off and it's gonna tell us that there's a leak in the stern. But we can also use bilge pumps. And now that all of that is done, let's move on to the dreaded part, and that is doing the missions, or not doing the missions, but transporting containers. But not here, not in this world, but in the career save, and I have a feeling that's gonna go horribly wrong. But let's go. So I'm still in the test world, and I was just testing around if we can take 2 containers, and apparently we can. So that's great, I'd say. And yeah, we can take 2 containers. Everything's fine. So let's now finally go into the career world. So we've got 2 containers, and you can see by that terminal we are currently in the career series, and both of these containers will go to Sawyer South. I believe it's here. It's in the south, yeah, that's it. So let's now fly over there, and this took me long to get these containers, but we should get around 13k from these. So yeah, let's fly over there. And while we set off on this journey, I want to explain my plans for this series moving onwards. So in the next episode, what I have planned is we are probably going to be making the light version of the ship. So the light version will be just the less laggy version with less detail, and might even be used on the career series. And then we're gonna do some interiors, and that means we are going to work on the full version. That's gonna be a little more interesting than the less detailed one. But I actually think that the next episode might be the end for the ship, or by that I mean it might get released after that episode, or it will get released after the episode after this one, or in 2 episodes basically. I don't think that made sense, but what I'm trying to say is we're getting very close to releasing that ship. So I'm really happy about that. I can't wait to release it, and it will be a whole lot of fun. I have never seen the volcano so close up. It's beautiful. So we're here at Sawyer South, and it's good that we got this thing over, but unfortunately this package expired. So we got only 10,000. But that's still fine, somewhat. And let's transport something more. So there are 2 containers to Uran Wind, and one of them is 11k and the other is 6k, so we're gonna bring that over. And yeah, that's good. So we have these 2 containers. I have a problem with them, and that's 30,000 liters. I think that's diesel, but that should be heavy. So that's that, but let's now get it over to Uran Wind. So I was just flying around and I realized that I didn't know where I was. And then I remembered this thing. We actually have a small little map here, so that's great. But we're now nearing our destination. And we're here. We just transported it and we can hear the sirens. And a very bad thing that is a fact here is that there are only 2 containers. If these go to BVG freight terminal, then that's bad. But let's see. Sawyer North 5,000, that's alright. That's whatever. What's this? JSI, I have no clue where JSI freight terminal is, and that's 15 minutes. That's absolutely horrific. So that's even worse. Well, never mind. Let's go to FJ Warner, and there are many containers here usually. So let's do that. And just as I remembered, there are many containers here. So let's pick some out. So I'm currently getting fuel. And the main reason for that is there are 2 quite good containers with good time that go to BVG freight terminal, which is, it's I think this. It has to be somewhere, but I know it's in the Arctic. Yeah, it's this thing. So they go here, and that's a problem. But I think if we get some fuel at Komodo, I think we should be able to get there safely. And if we don't use the pusher router. So let's get ourselves some fuel. And let's get those containers. And let's go on a suicide mission. So that's well and done. And we have our containers. And yeah. Let's go to BVG freight terminal. So we transported all of that. And yeah, we're here. Now let's see if these are any good. There are 2 interesting containers back to Donk. And they should be 58,000. So let's get those. Let's go back to Donk and yeah. And we're over Donk. That's good. So we're over here, and yeah, let's finally drop this stuff off and get some money. And would you look at that? We just transported it all, and we are at 200,000. And wait, that's not all. Let's just do this, and we're at 250,000. So that's amazing. We've got money. So let's just turn off these pesky sirens. Sorry, I turned off sounds. And yeah, I guess that's the end of the episode. We actually got much more money than I thought we'd get. And apparently these runs to the BVG freight terminal are actually much more lucrative than I thought. So that's great, we are going to do more runs there. But now, on this great note, let's end this thing off. I can't wait for the next episode, because the ship is going to be finished basically then. Or the light version will be. Probably. So I hope you can't wait either. And yeah, this was a whole lot of fun. And see ya.